It's 1 year of President Bola Tinubu's administration in office. How have Nigerians thrived? This is a special edition of The Outlook, as we'll be discussing 365 days in office youth perspective on President Bola Tinubu's reforms. My name is Suleiman Gane.
And I am Elizabeth Ereke. We have some youths with us in the studio. We have the SA to the DG, Energy Commission, Baba Wale Omobola. I hope I got that right. And then we have Oba Rijima Kekeburu. He's a personal brand development coach and a business marketing strategist.
Thank you very much.
We have Menga Shua, project officer, Accountability Lab Nigeria.
It's my pleasure.
Welcome. And we have Nizi Nero. He's an Afrobeat artist. You're welcome to Click Niger Studios.
Thank you very much for having us.
Follow us on YouTube right now. Subscribe on YouTube right now. Make sure to hit on the notification button to get notified on all our publications. Follow us on Facebook at Click Niger. Drop your comments, share, and be a part of this conversation. Don't forget we're also on Instagram and X at Click Niger1. Make sure to follow us. You can log on to our website on www.clickniger.gov.ng to stay informed on all the happenings happening in and around Nigeria.
Since assuming office on May 29th, 2023, President Tinubu has implemented various reforms to tackle fiscal challenges and promote economic sustainability, such as petrol subsidy removal, student loan, and appointment of youths into various positions of governance, among others. Now, the federal government approved 30% of appointment for Nigerian youth. How well has this been implemented, and has this been productive? The removal of fuel subsidy by President Tinubu on May 29, 2023 has seen inflation rise from 22.41% in May 2023 to a staggering 33.69% in April 2024. However, reports indicate that Nigeria's GDP has increased an annual rate of 1.6% in the first quarter of 2024, according to Bureau of Economic Analysis.
This has affected Nigerians in diverse ways, particularly youths, their businesses, and their standard of living. The government has also introduced the student loan scheme for Nigerian students to access loan for higher education and pay back 2 years after graduation. We have the Yahoo trend and how it is affecting the Nigerian youth image. These and many other things we're going to be discussing and looking at on this edition of The Outlook.
Now, with this, inclusivity is one of the 8 points of President Bola Tinubu, and that he has appointed quite a number of youth, in different positions. How well has this paid off involving young people in appointive positions?
Who is going first?
All right.
Well, thank you for having us. I want to also say good morning to Nigerians and to my fellow discussants on the show. Once again, my name is Omobola Babawale. I'm the SA, Strategy and Communications to Director General, Energy Commission of Nigeria, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi. Well, I would love to start from Mustafa Abdullahi. Okay. He's a young, vibrant Nigerian and is doing fantastically well at the Energy Commission.
Interesting.
Quite a number of Nigerians do not know that, up to now, do not know that there was an agency called Energy Commission of Nigeria until Mustafa came on board. To shock you to know that Energy Commission came as what's it called? This military decree of 1979, but it came into force in 1989. And from that 1989 till last when it was appointed, you could hardly hear of Energy Commission. When you even tell people Energy Commission of Nigeria, people will ask you, where are they? So, but today, the traction Energy Commission has gotten is far beyond even a ministry. Why? Because of the vibrancy of the man in charge, Dr. Mustafa Abdullahi. So, it's one of the youth that was appointed in October and is doing well. Also, take a look at the Nasiriga colleague. As of 2 weeks ago, in just few months, Khalid has what's it called? Inaugurated this building, listed building along the Kefi Express Road. in Nasarawa State. That is the Naseni DG. It tells you the belief of Oswaju in use. Look at another guy, the Charles in Sweden. Charles was just appointed a couple of months ago. But some of us that are even here, you know that you notice that the what they call the grants, artificial grants that the federal government, some of us have gotten it. And if it was not pioneered by a youth, what are we saying? So it tells you that Aswaju knew the vitality, the energy, and the vigor that the youth will bring to governance. And that is why it doesn't joke with bringing people. There are a number of them that are banned in the administration. I want to believe there are still more rooms to bring in more youth. People like my brother here from Benue State, my brother here, and my brother here can also be part of the show. And that is the essence of people having the youth ministry by Ayo Musa and Jamila Dao.
Exactly.
So I want to believe that 365 days is not long enough to assess, in totality, what President Aswaju has done for Nigeria. But we have made remarkable milestones in the last couple of months. Thank you.
Well, KK, do you have anything to add?
Okay, yeah. So as my brother said here, 365 days actually is just 1 year, and definitely before anything happens, you want to try to change something, you want to adjust the system in the time. And you can plan, you can execute, but sometimes before the results start coming out, it takes time. So 365 days, we're still watching. But one thing is, I believe personally, is before we go up, we have to go to the ground to bounce up. So because you need to break systems. I personally, I would say I have hope. I'll say I have hope, a strong hope, because in 1 year time, let's see, there's a going down, so we're expecting a going up. So when we watch and the time gets to the point where the going up is not happening, we get to now question the administration, you understand? So youth inclusivity, very important. It's good that we don't repeat the same thing we did last time again. They say you want a difference and you keep doing the same thing every single day. We're expected to see a different result. Obviously that result is not going to come out. We can't keep doing things with the old boys. I'll call them the old boys because they are actually the old boys. Over and over again, bringing the old ideas. When the old and the young get to talk, you realize the old start to realize this is the thing this young person knows that I don't know. When the old, young talk with the old, he realizes that this is the thing this old person knows that I don't know. Innovation comes during this process, you understand? So if this communication is not happening between the young and the old, and we're only hearing the old all this while, definitely we are doing the same thing we did the last time that did not work, and we are still going forward to another phase, you understand? So at the end of the day, if we don't include the young ones in this administration, which I've seen a couple of inductions and all of that for the young ones, which I will applaud, but then again, these young ones then, who are they? That's the thing, exactly. Who are they? It's because I can have somebody that will be with me. It's my pattern that I taught him. He's now a young person. He will act like me. You understand? So who are they? Are they coming with a different mindset? Are they bringing your same mindset? They pull out of your own mindset. So we should be very careful too in selecting. You understand? Yeah. And when, as I said earlier, 365 days is a short time for us to see the result, but we should still, everybody should be hopeful. And we are already in the administration, so let's just see through it and see.
So in essence, what you're saying is we need the young ones to bring, the modern days creativity, innovation, and ideas to, synergize with the olden days experience.
I'm sorry. Another thing is the positions.
Yes,
there are sensitive positions that you should give people that when they get there, they know that I am the person making this decision. I am not receiving decision from the above, and it's an order now. It's not my own decision. You understand? Yeah. So positions that when they make decisions, this particular industry is settled. You understand what I mean? So the positions that are given to me, in my own opinion, are not really like the top round positions that make tough decisions. They are the positions that answer from the above still. Yeah. So not to against any.
You're smiling like you're not going to counter what you say.
Yeah, not only, but first is to establish that yes, there has been a good level of inclusion of the young persons in the government or governance process in the last 1 year, which is commendable. However, two questions has to be quickly brought to fore. The first question has to do with who really are these people? What is their background? That is the first thing. The second question has to do with the extent to which discretion is given to them to run and bring in innovation in the respective capacities they are placed with. So I think this is very key because it's one thing to bring them on board. It's another thing to allow them that free hand to do what they need to do. Do they have the free space to bring in all kinds of innovations they need to bring in? Are they allowed at any point in time to be able to say what they have to say, do what they have to do, without recourse to those who have already designed what they want to see, so that that creativity is not hampered. So that is one area we have to look at too. But just like every other person has said or have said, just 1 year, we just take a look. Let's see how the ride goes.
Oh, you want to say?
I'm just hopeful because it's 1 year, so we're still looking at what they can achieve. And all these youths they are appointing, I hope they are appointing the right people for the job, not just their boys or their, I don't know how to put it, but you understand. So I hope they are appointing the right people for the job that will actually do the job that they appoint them to do, and not just to carry what their boss say they should come and do. So I just pray they do the right work.
Okay.
So if you permit me to speak to what brother from the Benue State said, I will have mentioned it because he made a very valid point though, that the caliber of the youth that are being brought on board. What is the pedigree? I want to speak about just 3 or 4 of them. Okay. I will start with my boss, Dr. Musa Abdullah, who is heading energy control in Nigeria. I can tell you, the innovation the guy has brought in less than 6 months is massive. March 8th, just a couple of days back, we were at the PTDF auditorium where we went to unveil the National Energy Policy document as well as National Energy Master Plan document. That document has been there for years, but it was the one that someone encouraged us. This thing has to be done because Nigeria has to move away from fossil fuel and biomass. We must be able to, explore the energy endowment that Nigeria, God has given to us. So, and those 2 documents are very important documents in driving narrative. That is one. And it's still less than, it's just about 40 years with that kind of mentality. Okay, look at this guy in FRS, call him Zach Adedeji. He's just 45. Look at what he's doing at FRS. By the end of this year, the target of 19 trillion that he has set for himself, he will even surpass it. Look at all the things that he has brought on board to ensure that we have a uniform tax system. Also look at the Olubel Jen, the special advisor to Minister on Energy. She's just 45 as well. And she has experience of 20 years in the energy sector across Africa. So it tells you the background of these people. And the funny thing is that as much as they give them freedom to operate, just like my husband and my boss, Mustafa, has a framework to operate. So I want to give you another wonderful, vibrant youth. He's a minister. We call him the poster boy. We all rely, like I mentioned his name. Honorable Dr. Olukuntu Jojo. You saw what he's doing in the Ministry of Interior. You saw the revolutions in the are you talking about immigration? Are you talking about federal SARS advisory? Are you talking about the correctional center? Are you talking about this other agency that is under his public? So all of them have come with a number of experience which is made to bear on the lives of other Nigerians. Thank you.
Okay, so we are talking about you've just mentioned some ministers that President Bola Tinubu appointed into this cabinet. Let's look at these SSAs, the SSAs that he has appointed to assist. Most of them are youths, and then we are clamoring for change. Do you think these positions are enough for us to see the meaningful impact that we want to take for the country? You again.
I agree with my brother. It may be, just like I said, 1 year is not so small for us to access at the moment. The truth is that the Mr. President has appointed quite a number of beautiful SSAs. In all fairness, just a few of them have seen to be up and running. I can speak of Oboroni, I can speak of a couple of other ones. But it's also a function of the KPI that is given to them. The KPI is given to them, is it time bound? Do we have milestones to be recorded? Is it going to be a monthly, whatever? Is it going to be a quarterly milestone to be achieved? But you can see that Moyeni is more than use an SSA on community engagement, you see how going up and down, interacting with people on how community account Nigeria can, benefit from the renewal of agenda of Mr. President. Due for a couple of other SSAs, but most of them, like I said, Nigeria may not have seen what they are doing, but I also believe, maybe after this show is blown open, maybe some of them will sit up. But the point here is that, as someone to the one I know since 1999, it will give you chance to prove yourself. It's not left for you as an individual to show your mettle if you are capable or not. He doesn't care. Even if you do just 2 months and he sees that this guy is not giving me the result I want, he will put you and replace you. That is one thing that is maybe different from other political. But like I said, and you can ask the SSAs on employment, according to the government, how many of them are up and doing? We want to see more of them. A few of them have started, we want to see more of them and running their affairs of their beliefs.
Mega.
When we actually speak about youth, don't forget I commended the initiative. But then when we speak about who a youth is, we look at various definitions of who constitute a youth. So, NYSC will tell you less than 30. There are UN documents that talk about 35, and there are others that talk about 30 to less than 40. So, if we're talking about people in their 40s, their 45, these are ancestors in my estimation. So they may not be actually the kind of youth we want to see. And that's why I pose the question, who are they? Who are they? In the sense of, are they actually youth in the sense of it? I remember a former minister of youth under President Buhari, who was accused of not being a youth, who was heading the youth ministry, and who sees himself as a youth. I've also seen people above 60 who say they are youth at heart, and so they also see themselves as youth. So that categorization has to be very clear. That is on one hand. Having said that, governance is not just a parallel thing. Governance is holistic. So having so many SSS, having a number of other youth in court, heading some agencies of government is good, but what we want to see is an impact. It's not just about having them there. Common Nigerians, ordinary Nigerians like me, we want to see the impact of what they are doing, and we want to see that telling on me in terms of my purchasing power, in terms of the value for my money, in terms of my security, in terms of the quality of education I access, in terms of the quality of electricity I receive, in terms of the quality healthcare I receive, and all of this. So we're not just discussing them in isolation as having people who are there. It is a plus. But then what we want to see beyond this, which is why I said that just taking off, we are watching to see how will their contributions bring succor to the hardships Nigerians are going through. How will their participation in this government bring some relief to some of the expectation, meeting some of the demands that Nigerians are putting forward. That we are yet to see, and that we are yearning to see as the administration rolls on.
Alright, but like you said, 1 year, according to you, is too small for us to judge. So, Keke, it's like you want to say something about this? Okay. Easy? Yeah, okay.
You know that?
Alright, yeah.
Well, let's go for that then. Since the removal of fuel subsidy, prices of literally everything has gone up. And this has affected the standard of living of people living in Nigeria. This has also affected the businesses of young people and their jobs. The government has introduced grants to help small businesses, like the nano grants, and the 75 billion naira credit is still on its way. How effective do you think this has been so far? And are this really achieving their aims?
The thing is, this is one thing that is supposed to be very freely available for we that as an oil producing nation, you understand? But because of the way things are going, to me I'll call it programming. Because other people have less than what we have and they use it to make what you make. Now, if the price of fuel keep increasing, you understand, to this level, definitely everything will increase. You go to the market today, I expense it personally. You go to buy sardine today, it's 700. Tomorrow it's 1,200.
Tomorrow is
you understand? That
is when the
now when people explain you, is it stop playing you or the producers or who is, you don't even know. You just And one thing with Nigerians is we accept, we have the ability to adapt to anything, and it's a bad thing and also a good thing. Go to the grassroots. In your own area, how is everybody reacting to this? How are they treating? Because I have a store. You understand? I bought an electric kettle not too long. So I saw it on Gmail. I saw it for about 14,000 naira. But I went to the store and I saw the store label for 4,000 naira. So I took it to the attendant. It was the owner of the store that was there. And she was like, okay, that's an old stock. That they've not changed the price. I was like, okay, so now which price will you sell this for me? She said, okay, because you have seen it, I'll sell it for 4,000. She's been understanding. You understand?
Yeah. Also, she starts to will be saying the shop. The person has to call his older brother. Please, man, what is
the be like that. You understand? Yeah. We are truthful. We are not saying this one just came this, the new one has been there for 1 year.
Sure.
Now, if we are truthful from the grassroots, we start fixing all of this going up. You see, one thing, Nigerian problem is basically not. I would say the leaders have their own part to play, but majorly we, the citizens, on the grassroots, what are we doing in our places of work and our environment? How do we, you understand? You'll be in a country, you see, I'll stop at the traffic light. There is no traffic warden. The next man by your right, he's already going. Somebody's behind you, he's already honking that you should go. I should be traffic because you're in a haste. Do you understand? So we, within ourselves, have we really cultured ourselves to follow the system as it is? Let me go back to the point I'm drifting. Now, the increase of fuel, the price, right? This is what is going to lead. It's going to lead to the increase of everything. As I said, I was discussing earlier there. I was in school with, as at 2014, with 250 naira, I can get my garri, granite and sugar, and I'm good, right? But now I ask somebody, I say, let's give me the cost of garri and everything. Let's see how much. That's if you want to use milk for 600 naira. If you don't want to use milk, you're running at like 500. So at the end of the day, can these students really afford these things? The price of things are increasing, but the income is not increasing. The expenses is increasing. Mm-hmm. The cost of things are increasing, but the income, what I'm getting, is not increasing. Salary of staff are not increasing. You understand? This is affecting the security because people have lost their jobs. People can't meet up. You are coming from a very long distance, and you're not the money you're getting for your salary is 70 to 80% for transportation. You're going to run out of options. You find people, not everybody is disciplined, so people can start involving in crimes and other things. So this is the ripple effect of it is way too big that if it's not controlled, it might turn to something that we can't take back to how it was.
Okay, so let me redirect you back to the question. We are talking about this grant, the 75 billion era grant, which is part of the 50,000 era, which has even confirmed that people have started receiving.
Yeah.
Do you think these measures, the 50,000 in our present day Nigeria, what can 50,000 do? Is it really meeting the aim of what the government wants it to be?
Okay. Right. So okay. For me, I don't have. I've never received any grants. Maybe there's a way I need to apply. Maybe I've not done any application. So we've heard of grants, even if it just started and it has happened. They've shared and people have said they've gotten their own land. So I never gotten it. I haven't gotten anything. I'm being honest. So now you're setting out grants, right? They're giving out to people. What are the standards? What are the how are you going to supervise this process? How are you going to see that it gets to the end user? It's not like people will give something that within the organization they're already cutting their own split and everything. If you're giving a grant, it should be seen to the end. I've not heard. I've heard about these grants like a couple of times, but I've not seen any other person coming out as an end user of these grants.
Okay, so
yes, I've been itching to speak on this.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you guys. First, I want to go back to the context of fuel subsidy removal.
Okay.
So I remember in 2012 when former President Goodluck Jonathan made an attempt. In fact, a declaration was made to that effect, and there was a wide protest across the nation. And the allegations eventually from some quarters, including those who are in government today, was that the management of that subsidy removal was a problem. But then we could see, even after a fraction of it was implemented, through short pay, we could see transportation subsidy, we could see it on so many things. So Nigerians could easily connect to it. Now we are talking about fuel subsidy again during the president's taking over, and he said so fuel subsidy is gone. And from that day, Nigerians have been going through a lot. And my own take would have been a different approach, not giving people C grant of 50,000, I will come to that. But first and foremost, we are an oil producing nation. What does it cost us to put functional refineries so that we refine this product, we enjoy it, and we export it? That fundamental gap has not been addressed. And I think from what I've seen, I can't really connect to any effort genuinely made by this administration to address that particular concern.
Well, we have
So
Dangote refinery.
So Dangote refinery, we were told it was commissioned by President Buhari before he left. It took almost 1 year before he started operation. And what they are doing is not the PMS that we used.
But by
They are
June,
using-
Dangote has said he would start
by June, we are working on promises. I'm talking on realities. I'm talking on realities.
Okay.
So that thing is not happening, and it is a core concern. Now, let's look at the sea grant. There has been arguments so far that when people argue that don't publish the social welfare register, the argument is that politicians share these numbers among themselves and give to their cohorts. So, and that goes to buttress the point he made earlier that he has not received maybe.
But I think Obola made mention that some people have actually started.
I don't know. Do you know anybody who has received? I don't know.
I don't personally.
I've heard, but I've not received.
No, do you know?
I've heard.
You heard that people receive, but do you know any of the persons?
No.
So that's the problem. So in most cases, the really vulnerable people who should benefit from these schemes are not there to benefit from it. And then it could come in other ways, maybe sea grants for businesses and other things. But then there has been a problem with this, which I don't feel any concrete effort to deviate from that standard. I remember under Jonathan too, I was really doing my masters around 2013 thereabout, and I tried to make an application with Bank of Industry to get a loan of about 5.5 million. The requirements to take that loan were running into 7 million. And I said to myself, if I have this money, I would not even want to give in the first place. So having access to some of these credit schemes and welfare packages that are meant to ameliorate the sufferings of the people is a big problem in itself. And until that is addressed, none of these things will actually have a telling on the people.
Honorable. Okay, you want to say something easy?
So speaking about the grant, I feel like 50,000 is too small for the standard of living we currently have now. And instead of giving grants, I feel they should instead see Nigeria, we have so many talents, people that have different ideas of different tech things. Instead of giving grants out, find somebody that is good in a very techy thing that will advance the country, invest in that thing, then that will produce more money. Instead of giving grants that nobody will get it or use, you understand? So I feel like we should use.
Honorable is laughing.
Yes, but let me say my brother. Wonderful submission.
In all honesty, he has made very, very, very valuable point. However, let me come in this way. There are two things involved here: the grants and the loan, or the consumer credit. The grants is not meant for you to run business. It is just for you to help some little stuff. The major stuff is for the loan for your business. Is the manual that the organization and some other grant. I mean the credit facilities that are available. That is why you can't give somebody 50,000. What kind of business would you use it? That's not the concept of the grant. Now, and on the issue of the grant, let me address this question. How many of us here actually apply for that grant? It is when you apply for something that we expect a response from the government. I can bet that not many of us here actually apply for that grant. So we don't expect also to have the grant. There was an application portal created for that purpose, for the purpose of the grant, for the purpose of the credit and the consumer credit scheme. So there were portals for it. People were asked to apply, and people applied. And it is in phase. The phase one has just been paid. The other phases will come and people will be paid. So that you have not heard from somebody and you have not seen anybody, you will see.
We need that 50,000 naira grant.
That's what I'm telling you. That it's not for your business. It is just to help
pocket money.
But what if, I understand what you're saying, but what if this 50,000 multiplied by 100 or 1,000
Yes.
is a substantial amount of money?
Yes.
Like he said, what if it was used to do something that will be more beneficial? Because if you give me 50,000 naira before I leave here, it's gone.
Okay, let me.
So I'm asking, that 50,000 naira grant is like dash money. Let me use that word. It's like dash money. Do we actually need dash money now, or we need things that are functioning to even give you more than that?
We need both. We need both.
Well, in essence, what I understand is that, let's say that 50,000
makes a lot of sense.
just wanted to cushion the current conditions.
Yes, I'm going. That's where exactly I'm going. We need both. We need politics. In my language, people will say a masquerade. When you give a masquerade money, masquerade will not reject any amount you give to him. He will collect that money and keep it in the pocket and demand for more. So that 50,000 we need it. They, like you said, we now say, government, we don't want this way. This is what we expect from you. So at least you have collected that 50,000 or address or whether some immediate techniques. Now, on the issue of the, he said something now. I'm surprised that my brother, who is a rising star, does not know that there was what we call QMTT from the digital economy ministry part that was something that
Information, they not pass information.
No, but you know there's something, I think there's something affecting, will I say, believing information is being heard in Nigeria.
So let me use to go about that. Let me conclude on what he said.
Okay.
The Ministry of Digital Economy, the Ministry of Communication and Digital Economy came up with a policy. Nigerians with techie ideas. We want to train 3 million. So they came up with QMCT, 3 million technical talents spread across the country. Phase 1. So they started in December. The second group came on board in February. Another group is coming out. I would like to collect the contact. So I when that come from board, you can also apply. There is no how I put it down. There is no discrimination. Every Nigerian is qualified to apply. So people are applying. People like you are there. Let me also give you another instance. Another very fantastic guy. The Director General of International Training Fund, IT, also just came on board. Dr. Afiz, there's something they came up with now. They call it scale up artisans, super. People like you, anybody that has anything that has to do with artisanal stuff, you can come on board and they will train you and they will give you grants. Anything, talk of hairdressing, bridal salon, music, anything. So they are going to train Nigerian youths, 20 million in the next 4 years, and the guy has just started. So last week, about 2 weeks ago, they went around the country to do screening for people that applied. The second phase is also coming. When it comes to month, I'll let you know. So government is doing a whole lot of things to address some of these things. And like my brother said, see, my language, I like to use our Indians a lot. They said, a cripple, the luggage is bent. He said, you are looking at the luggage. You are not looking at my leg. You look at the luggage for my leg, because my leg is also crippled, and that's why my luggage is crippled. We have been consistently conditioned to believe Nigeria cannot work for over 40 years. The language has been consistent since 1960. So he said, why is it that our airlines are not functional? And that's the truth. What makes us stop using our refinery? Don't we have to produce something and take it outside, produce and bring it out to the workplace? It is sickening.
It is.
But Tinubu cannot come today and change it overnight. It's a gradual process. Like you said, I agree with him. That is an individual. But you can't take away the fact that he's coming to the industry and also helping some stuff. You will recall that shortly before now, price of diesel was going about 2,000 naira. But recently, the man crashed the price of diesel to about 1,200. Now, about 10 years ago, it went to 900. So imagine if that experience in the refinery comes on board in June, and the one in the one in Prague that is supposed to kickstart anywhere from now, when it comes on board, Nigerians will have some level of relief, and those prices will come down.
So we are waiting for the relief to come down. So let's move away from first.
I just want to say something
quickly, 1 minute.
Very quick. Yeah. And when you're speaking about the loan, see, there's when we had the whole BVN issue, when everybody had to go do their BVN, the banks, every one of us got that information. There was a queue with the banks, and everybody was having that information. When we got to the time of NIN, we got that information, right? That go and fix your NIN and connect it with your SIM.
Exactly.
That's what they call. I'm a communications and marketing person. You understand? So there are levels to communication. You understand? I can give you a level 1 communication and only one person understand what I'm saying. I can give you a level 5 communication and everybody understands. Access to grants, access to loan, the way you promoted the NIN and the BVN, this should be promoted too. Expenses, money should be invested. Money should be invested. Money should be invested for marketing and communication, so everybody will hear, not just few people in the office that they are running the thing. They hear about it.
So let's go away from the loan, the fuel subsidy removal, and all. Let's talk about security now. Recently, the NSA chairperson Nuhu Ribadu has ordered the full implementation of cyber security crime. Some people are alleging now that it's a plot to stifle, you're laughing, to stifle the freedom of expression of youths, especially. What do you think about that, Keke? Keke, you laughed. So let me start with you. Yeah, you laughed. So let me start with you.
The honest truth is, we need to grow. The honest truth, we need to grow. We can't keep that. As I said earlier, we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Yeah. The youths are trying. Some youths also, we have the ones in tech, we have the ones in agriculture, we have the ones in fraud. You understand? They are doing what they are doing to survive. I'm not justifying any of these as what we should do, but then, now, when you, he's an artist, I'm glad to be his manager, we get to pay for things online. A lot of things online, like for streaming songs, or we have so many things to get our royalties and everything. It's so difficult for Nigerians. Like the type of card to use, so many platforms don't even access. When they don't see you're in Nigeria, they will deny you. Do you understand? So these are limitations that we are suffering because our leaders here don't understand how these systems really work. If you pay attention to the tech world, the digital world, and see what we can do, we have been doing things organically since. Why not try the digital aspect of it? Do you understand? So if we can try this digital aspect, we can go further. Innovations is what we need in this area. You understand? We can't be doing the same thing over and over again. Sorry, redirect me again. That's cybersecurity. So now, what I say is, you don't attack what you don't understand. If you attack it, you might get hurt. You understand? Yeah, you don't attack what you don't understand. If you don't understand, take time, understand it very well, and know the implications, the negative side of it and the positive side of it. We have a lot to gain if we open our digital space enough. We are not using up to 10% of what we are supposed to be using in Nigeria. If we open our digital space, stopping adding transactions to cyber transfers and everything, adding all these charges and everything, limiting the potentials of youth. These youths, they are not interested, most of these youth, let's be very honest, they are not interested to become a doctor. Most of them, not everybody. They are not interested to become a lawyer. In fact, they've seen their fathers in the law industry and they're looking at it that, is this what the law that we are shouting since? Is this what we are facing now? Is it what it is? They don't want to be that because they're not encouraged, they're not inspired, right? When they go to YouTube, they see things. We can see so many young people doing so well in different digital, in the content creators. You understand? You see what they are gaining and all of that, and you be like, so I can go into this and I can get more than this person sitting in the government office. Do you understand? So their mindset is not to this direction, the old pattern anymore. They are heading to the digital aspect. If you keep blocking access for them to make more, then you're limiting the youth from growing. That is just the honest truth.
Okay. Yeah, so part of the work I do is on digital governance. And when you asked that question, I was laughing. And you could also see it. And why I was laughing is because when governments speak about cyber security, what is the intent? I think this should be the starting point. What is the intent? Are they actually looking at issues of internet fraud? Or are they talking about people asserting for their rights and demanding accountability from government? So what exactly are they looking at? And I think that should be the starting point. In my assessment, when government in Nigeria speaks about cybersecurity, they are trying to restrict or possibly stop the citizens from seeking accountability from government. But don't forget, one of the first laws that this government passed, the president assented to, was the National Data Protection Act. And that act gives me and you the opportunity of protection in so many regards. But let's look at recent events. The most recent of all being the Daniel Ojukwu thing. He was accused of cyber stalking. Cyber stalking in its clear sense means that using internet to repeatedly incite violence or injury on a person. But here is a journalist who used information available to him to unravel a corruption matter and was picked up. So are you also looking at it as an instance of cyber security? Well, I had the opportunity of interfacing with the DSS and so many other government agencies, including the National Human Rights Commission, on an array of these issues that most times are just created to blackmail citizens and then stop them from coming up to speak their minds, to criticize the government, and then to put up options there based on their feelings and their realities on ground. So the point here is that the agent should not be about silencing the citizens, because by so doing you are also infringing on their rights to freedom of expression, even though it has to be expressed reasonably and within limits that are accepted by law. Restricting it is also a violation in itself. Then the second aspect will now be looking at issues of fraud. They can go after them. They have the technology, they have the equipment. So where it is genuinely established, we are not against that. But where it is meant or intended at silencing the citizen, then I think most of us will have a problem with it.
Yes, I want to disagree with my brother. Unfortunately, he may not have read the cybersecurity this thing, the bill itself.
Okay.
This bill, if we have read that bill, there is no how, there is no way, there is nowhere the bill is trying to silence Nigerians. The bill, for me, I understand, is even trying to protect you, protect him, protect everyone against this internet fraud and some other things.
Yeah.
Now, don't forget, this cybersecurity stuff did not come under Buhari, did not come under Tinubu, it don't even come under Buhari. It was completed under Goodluck Jonathan. Jonathan assented to the bill in 2014 before Buhari came on board. So it is not about silencing, like I agree with him. The gray areas there, that appear that they want to stifle the citizens. Yes, we can think about it. But the entirety of the bill, which has now become act, it is to protect the integrity of Nigeria. Today, if you take your passports outside Nigeria, not many people want to do any business with you. Nigerians, oh, they are fraudsters. That is the essence of the cybersecurity. That is what it's meant to protect. That enough of this bad name of Nigerians, how can we address it? We can't allow it to continue. The other time I saw a lady crying on the social media, a Nigerian of origin, the fraud of 130 million, a young woman.
Fraud of Sean George recently, that was the fraud of about 3 million.
So what are we talking about? So this is one of the things the Cybersecurity Act is meant to address. Yeah. Because you just see that people just come from nowhere, they collect money from people and they disappear. So how do we tackle all of it? So what he said, there are points there, the areas that are meant to, in the people in the public opinion are meant to stifle the public, then we should speak about it. But the entirety of the cybersecurity was not created.
No, he's not. He actually didn't. He was speaking from where he pinch and let me use that word. You know, having this, you hear cybersecurity stuff. An average Nigerian youth will be like, this government don't want us to talk.
No, it's not about that.
Well, it's just good that there are great areas to it, and everyone has the way he looks at the situation.
Of course, what you see as 9, I can see it as 6.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's perspective. That's it. This container you say is half food or half empty.
So let's hear from Nizi so that we can.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with the Cybersecurity Act as far as they don't misuse the intent, like what he said, like stopping fellow Nigerians from saying their own mind. As far as they are focused on fraud, is a very good act. Thank you.
Sorry, but I want to buttress something there. Sorry, I'll be very fast. The cybersecurity thing, we should also know that it's into different forms. It's not just one area of they steal money from you, they steal money from you. Security also means me, I want to do business with foreigners and I want to use this my card to pay for so and so. How secure? What's my security guarantee that if I put this thing, it will go once and this transaction will happen? I need to be secured as in Nigeria.
Yeah.
You understand? So it's not about the state, they steal money from this person. That is where I was trying to express my
Well, let's see how the cybersecurity, the implementation is going to go. We pray it works for all of us. And
Yeah, but you guys have not thanked the president for reversing the
okay, thank you, Mr. President. Tinubu.
As a matter of fact, we don't need to thank people when they do the right thing.
Welcome back. This is the special edition of the Outlook. And we've been talking about 365 days of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in office. Now, with the introduction of loans, student loan, do you think it will help students that cannot afford the high fees as intended by the president? Or will this just be another, free money for some? Nanga. Let me throw this at you. Hope I'm not
I think I will use this opportunity to call my name properly.
Okay.
So my name is Shiwa Nenga.
Shiwa Nenga.
Okay, having said that, I think it's a good initiative that a loan scheme is provided for the students in tertiary institutions. I think maybe for universities. It's a good one. It's a good one. But you see, for each policy, there are intended consequences, there are unintended consequences, there are communication issues, and then there are mechanisms to address deviations. I have not taken time to look comprehensively. I look at only some extracts of that Student Loan Act. But my major concern is that clause that the loan has to be paid after 2 years. Let's take 2024 as a benchmark. What that means is that in the next 4 years, which should be around 2028, the first batch of students who are beneficiaries of that loan must have graduated. So give them 1 year to serve, that is 2029. And maybe after 2030, you're asking them to pay back.
Sorry, assuming they picked up the loan in 100 level.
Yes.
For a 4-year course.
For a 4-year course.
Okay.
Now, I graduated in 2008, completed my service in February 2010, completed my master's in 2015. I never had a job until I had this job I'm doing in 2019. So the question now is, how do you get this loan back? I know somebody, as at the time I came into university, he already had a master's. His mates were fortunate to pick up jobs, are professors now. And only last 2 years, he got a part-time lecturing job with a private polytechnic. So put all of these issues together. I am just looking at an economy that is not self-sustaining, an economy that for now has not developed the capacity for making the graduates maybe self-employed or being employed by companies other than government, so that they can be able to find a way of returning this money. So this is just where my concern is. And we have to add too, the implication of that loan is that those who are beneficiaries are those who cannot afford the tuition fee for the universities they are attending. So we can conclude that they are supposed to be children of the poor. Right?
Yes.
If that is the case, at the end of the 4-year, 5-year course that the case may be, you're asking them to pay back. So what is the mechanism to pay back this money? The implication too is that loan has to be it's sort of a recalling fund. You benefit from it, you pay back, others continue to benefit. So it's going to be an intergenerational scheme that benefits many Nigerians over a period of time. So it's a good initiative, but how to manage it so that first the right people get the money, two, there is a means so that when they graduate they pay back. Otherwise, after exhausting the 75 billion, we might have to look for another money to refund it.
Yeah.
Honorable, you want to say something?
Let me address my comrade Shimba's affairs. When the idea was initially mooted, it came with a lot of hoopla in social media. There was a cap, if you remember, of 500,000 annual income of the guarantor. As of this morning, that cap has been removed. That's why when I told you the other time that you should say thank you to the president, well, I have my reasons. The man has listening ears. He gauges the public this thing. He listens to the public and he responds. You remember this cyber security levy, the 0.05% that was introduced last 2 weeks. He was not around. He was on his way from Riyadh when that thing created. Immediately he came, what did he do? He had the CBN to reverse. So he's a man with empathy. He empathizes with Nigerians. While he was the governor of Lagos State, he didn't joke with education. He believed education is the bedrock of any development in the world, in any country of the world. That is why he wants to ensure that the children of the poor have access to education. That is the idea. Now, addressing the issue of our current reality that people will graduate no job, the man has the mindset that his government in another 4 to 6 years is making serious efforts at ensuring that a lot of things are changing in Nigeria. So that by the time that time comes, when the students are expected to start paying the loans, a number of jobs will have been created. Don't also forget that he also said, in the course of when you are done with your school, you are done with your NYC, you won't pay the loan until 2 years after you have secured a job, not immediately after you are done with NYC.
So what if I never secure a job? Like he finished his NYC in 2010?
That is why a waiver is provided. That is why today the Ministry of Communications and Data and Digital Economy is coming up with a new policy where the data of everybody in Nigeria can be compressed in one form, so that we have data of everybody, even the people in the remotest village. So you can't collect that loan now and say you want to elope, run out of the country. Of course, you are going out of the country, you have to pass through the airports. If you are not passing through the airport, you have to go by road. You have the immigration service that's also under reform now to ensure that security at the border and the border controls are uptight. So the man is coming with a number of modalities to ensure that thing it goes seamlessly. It makes it easy for Nigerians to want to go into education. Like he said, it is not meant for people who are already well-to-do. It is for the poor of the poorest that drop out of school because of money. So I don't want students, my citizens, to drop out of school because of lack of funds. That is why the man is coming with this project. And he's passionate about it. Everything that will constitute a bottleneck, the man is ready to change, to address, to redress, and to resolve. So I can assure my brother here that when we get to the bridge, how to cross it will not be a problem. But the important thing is that it is good, like he said, it is good that the man has come up with such an idea, so that the children of the masses, the animators in the north, the guys in the south that are roaming the streets, can go back to school and can contribute to the development of this country. That is the idea.
But what modalities have they really put in place to ensure that those funds actually reach the people that they are intended for?
That is why the federal government is working with the ends of tertiary institutions. It's not only for, let me also tell them my problem here, it's not only for the universities, it is for all tertiary institutions. State tertiary institutions, federal institutions, including colleges of education, the polytechnics and universities. So, and when you are working, you know they have a body. You have the National University Commission, you have the NAPTEP, and you have some other bodies who are coordinating all of these tertiary institutions. So they are going to work with the leadership, because they have, before you enter into the university now, you have your data in the school.
Sure.
So the federal government will work hand in hand with the schools to give us the names of these people that have not been able to pay.
Okay. So he's an artist, he's a musician, yes, right? And we have this loan for students.
Yes.
We have various other loans. So as an artist,
yes,
a musician,
yes,
is there anything done by the government to also help enhance them in what they do?
Fantastic. I said something the other time. I mentioned something called super. that was introduced by ITF. ITF is a government agency that is meant to address two things: the people in the formal sector and the people in the informal sector. It belongs to the informal sector, where we have various artisans, because it's an artisan by default.
Yeah.
So that super is called skill up artisan. Like I mentioned, if you follow me, I said that agency has planned to train, retrain, and upskill Nigerians. 20 million Nigerians in the between now and the next 4 years. And the first phase has started in earnest. The second phase will start very soon. I work with somebody that is very close to the DG of the ITF. So there's a plan for people in this industry. Aside the ITF Industrial Training Fund, there is also an avenue for him in the creative industry that we just created, the Ministry of Arts, Culture and Creative Economy. There are things for them to do there. That is why you see the young lady who is the minister of that ministry, Anatu Musawa, has also rolled out a number of things that the ministry is doing to bring up people like people like my brother here, who are all in the creative industry, to ensure that because the entertainment in the creative industry is enough to even give Nigeria, we can do away with the world. That industry is heavy and is huge. So, and that is what this government is trying to tap into now, to ensure that young Nigerians who may not necessarily want to, pursue, like you said, doctoral degree, law, MS, or whatever degree they want to just be themselves. They want to be independent. So there are plans for them. It's just that, Nigerians, we find it difficult to believe in our government. I can't blame us. Because it's like you said, I also mentioned that we have been doing the same thing constantly all the time, and we are expecting them to change. It won't change. But here is a man that has come with a renewed hope. Renewed hope in everything. Okay, let's renew the hope of the youth in the entertainment industry and other areas. So I don't know if I made
mentioned renewed hope and everybody laughs. I don't know why we are laughing. So easy. With the intervention by the federal government with the introduction of the student loan, how do you feel about accessing maybe a grant or a loan for artisans like you?
Just like what he said, there are programs that are available, but my problem with all these programs is that they are not being communicated to the public. Just few people that are aware of these programs, and because the information is not passed properly, they're not passed to the people that need the information. They're passing to people that are just within the circle of government, not to the actual people that needs this information. That is the artists and the creatives.
Okay, so Kiki, what kind of innovation, what kind of innovations would you want to see coming into the entertainment industry, especially as it concerns loans, accessing things that will make your job easy for you?
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, the artisans, they need these loans, they need these grants, you understand, to build their career, because most of them, they are doing it individually. Like the expense and everything is they are self-investing in their own career. So if these loans and programs and grants are available, they should be made known to them. As I said earlier, I still stick to that. Access to these grants, access to the loans. If they say if you want to hide something from an African man, you put it in a book. Also, the artisans as well need to also research. Need to research and all of that, because if you don't research, you're not going to find it. That's the truth. But in my point of research, when I go on Google and I search for it, I should at least have links that can lead me to it. Not me going and not everybody know how to go deep on research. But for the ones that don't know how to go, as a core industry is an informal industry, most of them they are not really learning. Most of them are not really learning. So how can they access these things now? If they can access it, the impact on it to them will go a long way, because it takes little for some artists. Some artists don't need more than 10 million naira, more than 5 million naira to really break out. So it takes little for some of them if they can access it and also use it properly. You understand? Because it's not to give the loan, but the reason why the loan was given and the grant rather anyone.
Okay, so Nizi, I'm going to channel these questions to you. With all that we've discussed today, with all that we've said today, do you think the Nigerian youth is breathing?
Because
upon assumption of duty, President Bola Tinubu said he wants the poor. We should let the poor breathe. Are the youths breathing? Are the poor breathing?
You're breathing partially. But it's been very difficult and hard for creatives and the youths in this economy because like me normally, like I know I'm a producer too. I mix and master. So normally I used to get clients, but now I can't even get clients because they have never feed themselves, they have never transport. So all those things is limiting, is limiting them from is spoiling my business. I'm not getting more customers.
So that's why you move your eyeglasses.
So I feel like the economy is not really favoring us in so many ways. But like we all said, it's just 1 year, so with time we'll see what will happen.
Yeah. Okay, to say on that, well, if the youths are breathing, okay, like I have a point that I wanted to make earlier. Now, in a country where the electricity is not, we are all of us now. I don't know, we have been divided into different bands. I don't know if we have band A or band B. So I don't know, but then we have band A. So even with the band A, there's a specific number of time, like the duration that light is supposed to, hours are supposed to be, but we are not even counting that in the band A region. We are still not counting that up to the hours. Now, let's say for example, a tech bro needs lights in his house. A tech bro cannot afford it. An upcoming tech bro, he can't afford the solar panel thing and all the inverter thing. He can't really afford it. He's just working with what the government is providing, which is electricity, normal or own lights. Now, if there's no lights, I work sometimes, and back then when I was still like coming up, I work sometimes, and my laptop as at then I call it a TV. Immediately it take lights, the laptop is gone. Okay. So when I work and it sees the lights, I started as a graphic designer. So working and the creative juice is coming, and I'm working and they take the lights. Now before they bring that lights, like 6 hours, 7 hours, and 5 hours. Like, now I've lost all the creativity. I've gone to do other things. You understand? Now. This is killing creativity. If there's continuity, the light is there. You see, when Nigerians go outside of this space, Nigeria, they excel more because of what? Steady lights, fast internet, the tech bros. I'm just going to focusing on that niche. If you give the lights the way you said you give the lights, and everybody's receiving it, you are giving the youth opportunity to grow themselves, to build whatever they want to build. Content creators now, you're shooting, you're creating an idea, you pay session, you buy higher camera, for probably like 5 hours. That 5 hours never been light.
Your money is
you understand? And you will pay for that camera like that. You will pay the sound people. You will pay everything.
Yeah.
You are spending money, but you're not getting the impact of what you are spending. So, and it's not like they are in a position where they are getting money like every month. These are creatives. You know, what they do is where they eat from. So, I feel the government should put more energy into these basic resources that help you. You understand? Lights, fast internet. Recently, the internet has been bad. I don't know about everybody. It has been bad. I don't know what is happening.
That one is a global phenomenon.
I feel it should be because we cannot be one-sided.
So, are we breathing? Are the youths breathing? Because I'm still a youth, so are we breathing?
We are forcing ourselves to breathe. But I think going forward as youth, there are expectations. There are major sectors that we will want to see a drastic and transformative change in. We want to see transformation in the information and technology sector, where we have a good number of youths who are going in. Issues of cyber security, as we earlier on pointed out, may be there, but this is a sector that this is where the world is going. And the Nigerian youth must excel and meet up with expectations. That sector needs so close an attention. Issues of sports. We have a good number of Nigerians who are into sports, not just football, not just basketball, but there are so many other activities, gymnastics, swimming. People in Naija Delta, the rivers are there. We should have the best swimmers in the whole world. So I think government need to focus attention on these areas and see that youth have channeled their energies and creativities in these areas to excel. Finally, we need a secure space to do all of this. Some of these guys, if I need to travel on the road, I should be assured of my security. The little money that comes in my hand, I should have value for it. Not that I toil all night make 1,000 naira, and that can only give me a breakfast the following day. So these are the things that we are looking forward to having the government change, and then to give us a voice. Let's have a voice in the discussions. It's not just enough to have few of us who are working in the government, call it 30% of youth, but 30% slots allocated to the youth in the government. But then we need to be heard, and we need to make our voices heard.
Baba Wale, you just breathe in.
Let the engineer breathe. I need breathing, of course. We are all breathing. However, I want to support all my brothers, all what every one of them has said. We need more space to breathe. But I want to use the word of my president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said his changes or his reforms were going to come with difficulties. He said that. And at every point in time, he empathizes with Nigerian people. But he said these difficulties are going to be temporal. They are going to be transient and ephemeral. They won't last long. So they will just be here for a while. And when the time comes, very soon, we will see his efforts germinate, and Nigerians can put up a smile that after all, we suffered this thing and we are now enjoying it. So I want to encourage Nigerians. I want to tell them, we may be partially breathing. The president is not losing his sleep on what is happening. He knows, he understands, and he empathizes with the country, and I know with time he's going to address, if not all, the majority of our concerns, and Nigerians can be better and be greater again. Thank you.
You just gave us hope.
But we should have hopeful people. Waiting for the renewed hope. So you have to buttress that.
Now, finally, do you think that there is any reform needed to be introduced, to cushion the current situation that we are facing in this country?
Reforms are already in place.
Do you think there's any more you think should be introduced
at
or
least
brought in?
That will work rapidly and significantly?
What I can say is that the ones that the president has introduced,
Yes.
let him monitor very well. For instance, let me tell you, he made mention of something the other time that an average student now spends 600 naira to drink Gary. From that 600 naira Gary that is drinking, indirectly, that student is paying tax. Do you know?
Yeah.
Because there is a tax element on that Gary and milk. The sachet, what's it called? 3 grand or cowbell on a pig that is sold for 15 naira is now sold for 200 naira.
Yeah.
And it has a tax element. So you go to Lagos, you are faced with either 2 or 3, 4, 5, 10 taxes. You come to Abuja, you are faced with multiple taxes. And that is one of the reforms what the government and the federal government is doing is to now have a single digit tax. So that we don't have multiple taxes. As for today, what we have is over 200 taxes. We have the different types of taxes. So the government is making an effort to ensure that we have a uniform tax across board. That is one of the reforms. So it needs to monitor that. When you monitor that, the number of taxes paid will now reduce. You agree with me?
Yeah.
It will reduce. And that means when it reduces, what happens? The prices of goods also come down because it has a multiplier effect. That's one area. Then another area is that in the area of the civil service, he said something. Then what kind of youth is Mr. President bringing in? So we need to bring in thinkers. I made reference to Tunji the other time. Do you know the Ministry of Interior? Since 1986 that they created the board. If you want to promote civil servant in the agencies under that ministry, promotion does not come within a year. It's just a continuous. They are start your promotion this year and you will not end it until the next 2-3 years. But the man came in on August 21st as a minister. By August 24th, between August 21st and December 31st last year, he promoted 32,000 civil servants.
Wow.
Within 5 years, every 5 months, he promoted 32,000 civil servants. Now, on the average of 6 per family, husband, a wife, 4 children, multiply that 32,000 by 6 people. That's 192,000 families. So look at the multiplier effect that we have. So if you have somebody like Tujojo in that ministry, have somebody like that in other ministries, you can imagine what will become of Nigeria. Because those are people who are thinking for a solution, not compounding the problem or exploiting the situation. So they are thinking of solution that how do we, he said something, he said, I will blame myself for the Nigeria I inherited, but I will not blame my children for the Nigeria I want to bequeath on them. So let me bequeath a better Nigeria so that they can be proud of their father as the minister. So I believe Mr. President has introduced a number of reforms and they are continuous. But it's all about introducing reforms. Ensure that those reforms actually achieve their desired results.
Okay, so maybe three things I will say in quick succession.
Right.
Number one is there is need to make people go back to farm, and in this case, we need a serious reform on security. Nigeria is part of the world system. The crisis between Russia and Ukraine, the crisis between Israel and Palestine is already worsening the food securities. And then internally we have so many people who are displaced, who are supposed to be farmers and are not in the farm. So if attention is not given to this, in the next 9 months we have a worse form of security, which will be that of food. The second thing I want to speak about is to look at the civil service remuneration package. And in this case, I'm not just talking about the amount of money that the labor is demanding. So there is need to look at other things that make the service worthwhile and whatever they are supposed to take home, whether they should take them home. In that basket, we have to look beyond out-of-pocket expenditures for health so that the health insurance should be comprehensive. We need to ensure that the children of public servants have good access to quality education in public schools so they can pay less and get the same value for those paying in private schools. So I think I will raise my case. But importantly, the last thing I think I have to say is for us to believe in this government and all the packages that my brother is explaining to us, the government, according to him, is doing much, but is under-communicating. Nigerians need to know what is happening. What is the progress? What are the challenges? How are they addressing it? What next do you expect? And this will make Nigerians know if our hope is actually renewed.
So you've summarized our show for us at this junction. I'll say a very big thank you to all of you for being a part of the show. Thank you very much, Babawale Omobolamon, the SA to the DG Energy Commission, Menga Shua, the Project Officer Accountability Lab. Thank you, Obarijima Kekiburu. He's a personal brand development coach and a business marketing strategist. Nizaniro, he's an Afrobeat artist. Aniga, yes. Thank you very much for being a part of the show. This special edition of The Outlook was produced by the supervising producer, Ehi Ohiani, and the team of senior producers and technical crew, including Ihioma Ukeje, Abdullahi Dawuda, Osen Ata, Hafsat Isa, Jacinta Osage, Choice Okosun, Christy Dung, and Fabian Gerald. And thank you for being a part of the show. Make sure to share this video right now, like share it to your friends, your family, your loved ones, everybody, so that others can partake of this conversation and make meaningful contribution. My name is Elizabeth Ereke.
And I am Suleiman Gane.
Bye.